Competitions, that's a big part of drawing in the audience. So is Timberlake and all those other famous people, they'll be holding competitions?
So it's not about a celebrity hosting a competition.
Okay.
The competitions are user-generated. They're categories based upon dances in different geographical areas throughout the country. So a relative, like for instance, bucking is up there. Bucking is a dance style that originates in Memphis.
Oh, okay.
And going all the way back, as a matter of fact, to my 1993 song, Too Legit to Quit, when it broke down, it said, get buck, get buck. Literally, in Memphis at that time, they had a style called gangster walk, a dance called the gangster walk. And when you do the gangster walk in Memphis, it's also called bucking. So I said, get buck, get buck. So on this particular site where we just were with bucking, anybody from that area would want to upload to be, quote unquote, at the end, be crowned the king of bucking. In the Bay Area, we have styles like, going dumb, the hypey dance style. So here in the Bay Area, you want to be the king of those particular styles. In LA, there's a crump style of dance, and there's crumping, and also, believe it or not, there's a buck style for crumping as well. And so you want to be the king of those various styles. And then in the South, they have the snap dance and Soulja Boy style, the combined snap dance. And so all of these areas have different styles of dancing. New York has their Aunt Jackie, and they have various chicken noodle soup, different dances. So in all of these areas throughout the entire country, Chicago has a style called footworking or juking, and all of these areas, they have their own dance style. So imagine now we have a place from the street side of things, right? Urban dance styles to emerge, but we also, and it's very important that this gets out there, is that this is also a place for those who do cheerleader competitions, all the way from youth to NFL cheerleaders, to NBA cheerleaders. If you historically, we might see the Dallas, cheerleaders on television, but we don't know where to find them. Well, now a great place to start looking is Dance Jam, since they dance. So you go over there and you can find that individual girl that you saw the camera go past. You'll find her own profile. She may have aspirations of doing Broadway dance, going on into theater, or would like to be in movies. Through Dance Jam, through her own personal profile, there's a possible upside business-wise as well.
Business-wise, now you're talking about creating these communities, these local communities around dance. Is there a local advertising connection here? Is that some
so there's connection? We would monetize in very much, the standard ways that most vertical communities monetize. So a lot of not a lot, but advertising would be a source of income. Also, if you look here, as we profile the dance, these are very targeted, so we can show you related music. So there's an affiliate opportunity here with iTunes. There's going to be affiliate opportunities if you're into breakdance, then you know quite a bit about what type of fashion is associated with that. So looking at the genre, for example, we have breakdance. We have a little bit about the history of the dance. We know the geographies where this dance is hot. Now, what you're not seeing right now, but what's going to be in a future iteration of the site, is on top of cataloging all dances, so we're curating all the best content around a dance, we're also going to be curating content around regions. So you'll be able to say, oh, New York, what's popular in New York? What dances are they doing? What music are they listening to? Where are they hanging out? Right. Who are the top dancers? All of this, and that'll give us a lot of opportunities on the local level to do some.
Do you see a bigger opportunity in advertising or in commerce?
It's hard to say. I think initially advertising, just because we're not really going to focus on the commerce aspect of it. The goal is to make sure that we can create the ultimate repository and destination for all things dance. So we're going to catalog, again, regions, users, and dances. And over time, as we build that presence and actually are able to say, hey, we're the voice of the community in dance around New York, in LA, and San Francisco, then I think the commerce opportunities will pick up.
And then there's some other opportunities in the offline Dance Jam events that are sponsor advertised. And, theoretically speaking, we could have had a Super Bowl event that's going to happen 12 months from now, and we can have, in conjunction with a sponsor, a contest that is hosted by Dance Jam that starts 12 months out, and every can you get is a number that you go to, that you enter into this particular contest, and it will all culminate at the site of the Super Bowl in the upcoming year. So now there's a payoff for these dancers. They end up at the big Dance Jam event. The local events that happen that get you to the championship can also be featured at Dance Jam. So we are actually generating our own premium content at that point, and it all culminates at another premium content generating event at the site of the Super Bowl, the site of the NBA All-Star Game, the site of you name it. So big events can happen offline that actually continue to drive the brand and create an awareness of Dance Jam throughout the year from the offline events.
So if you look out 18 months, what drives the revenue, the offline sponsorship events or the online advertising?
Both.
It's going to be a mixture of both. So it would be, not to mention commerce opportunities around specific genres or users.
So with ABC and Fox having their own shows around dance, having a significant audience base, what is your defensible position if they decide that they're going to turn on a social network and start having their audience base connect and network? They're already doing so to some extent.
Yeah, I think ultimately we will be partnering with any number of media companies. So I imagine that some other media, linear television channels will try to get into the social networking side of things, and likewise we'll try to partner with any number of media companies in linear programming, or radio, whatever. As far as our defensibility, I think that, again, choosing the right partners and having an end-to-end solution is going to be the most defensible strategy, and certainly there's been a lot of interest on both sides to actually do those partnerships. The other thing too is, what I think is really going to be valuable with our site is, over time, again, we are curating our content. So it's not just about the here and now, but this breakdance site has activity going on now. We're hoping 18 months from now, the description is a lot more refined, the top dancers are a lot more engaged, but we also hope that there's going to be a lot of great instructional content too. So again, if you're constantly adding to the corpus of knowledge around any particular dance style, then people will always want to come to Dance Jam. If they want to go back and say, what was breakdancing like in the 80s, they can go back and find old videos from the 80s and compare and contrast. If they want to know what the history of krump dancing was and how it stemmed out of some gang affiliations in LA and became a very physical, self-expressive form of dance, they can learn that at Dance Jam and then have an opportunity to become a star by showing off their stuff on ABC or NBC.
I think that ultimately, in our response again to the defensibility of our position, is that first to market always has its advantages, and in this particular case, first to market in an end-to-end solution with a user interface like we have, and the other components that we bring to the table gives us a huge advantage. There are others that came after MySpace, but they're still not MySpace. People turned on the switch after they saw MySpace, and their communities actually went away. There have been other attempts to become the new YouTube, and they've all gone by the wayside. So, defending your position, there can be others that start similar plays, but actually getting in there and getting the traction in the users, that's a different ball game.
So, but clearly the major networks they have distribution, they have traffic. If you think about a partnership, how do you think a partnership like that should work out?
There's essentially, in our opinion, no such thing as a good deal unless it's a good deal for both sides, right? And so our goal long term is to create, again, the ultimate social media destination around all things dance. So to the extent that we can continue to drive traffic, drive users, curate content, and make sure that 18 months from now, the site has that much more content and activity around it. Whatever a partner would want, quite frankly, as long as it doesn't detract from that, we're happy to do it. So if MTV, for example, or NBC, you name it, and they have a dance show, we might envision a scenario where they can source a lot of the original talent off of the site. Saves them from having to go from city to city and hold these big produced events and film dancers and judge it. do it on the site. We can give you a little spot on the site where dancers can come. They can compete across multiple genres of dance, and the best will rise to the top, all community voted, and that can source talent for a show. That's one example. If they're not doing a television show, but you're a brand marketer that maybe has a new beverage, an energy drink that is associated with club dancing, who knows? You could also sponsor a particular genre of dance. So it doesn't have to be the full, we're going to do a television show or we're going to do a movie, but I have this product that I think would really appeal to your users. Right. And so we might have a breakdance competition that is sponsored by any number of folks.
So beyond partnering, say, with a big distribution partner like a media company, what are your three, as you go to market and try to build out your community, gives your top 3 marketing campaigns that's going to get you out there and drive an audience?
So one of the first things that we're doing is there's going to be 2 stages to our launch. And the first thing is what we're calling kind of a seeding launch. We want to give some of the earliest, most excited folks an opportunity to jump onto Dance Jam early, grab their profiles, and really have an opportunity to state their position on a particular dance. So
second.
Go ahead.
So you do third. Now, secondly, we're actually going in different markets and getting our own premium content. So we literally have already begun that process, and we go into multiple cities and actually filmed dancers doing particular styles representing their geographical area, and that's another way that we're going to seed the site. Right.
So from that, the first one was seeding. So people will just have an opportunity to participate in competitions. The second, like Hammer said, would be to have people actually get some of the core editorial content, because we are a mix of both user-generated content as well as premium content.
And who's making the premium content? Mostly you right now, or who's
Well, we actually do it together, and our production crew, we go out and we go into areas and actually gather the content ourselves.
Yeah, we have over 100 gigs of really, really great content. I mean, our rate limiting step right now is actually getting someone to continue to help us edit the content and get it online.
Now, can you tell if it's premium, or does it look like it's user-generated?
We have some examples.
Is it separated from
I can actually, would you like to see some right now?
Of your premium content?
Yeah.
Sure.
So this is, so if you go to...
The user-generated look is very much in, so yeah, we wanted to keep the user-generated look.
So this is stuff that we shot in St. Louis.
It keeps, obviously, it keeps it very much in line with the user-generated look. And
so two more questions here. I guess we could start the one question, and I'll end with you, which is the sort of the future of Dance Jam. But you've raised $1 million in angel funding. How long does that take you, and when do you start? I think you talked about closing another round soon. So what are you raising, a Series A, and are you raising 5 million, or can you get to break even with $1 million more?
Right. So it's one of these challenges that faces a company at our
give her just
stage
enough
right
to
now.
keep the show flowing. None of the secret sauce. Give her just enough to keep the show going.
So
we want the secret sauce.
So the $1 million gets us well past launch, and we have very low burn. Amazing tech team that Anthony Young is heading up right now. What's that?
What are you guys burning a month?
The midnight oil.
Thank you.
Good answer.
Thank you.
So we have a very conservative burn, and does it get us to break even? Probably not, but we definitely have. There's no shortage of interest right now in folks either bridging us or continuing with a larger round. We will probably be making a decision within the next couple of months of what our funding strategy is going to be. So if we do go out and raise more venture capital, it'll probably be around in the $4 to $6 million range.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And last question for you, Hammer. This is clearly a entertaining content, which media companies would love to have. and they need traditional media companies. Do you see Dance Jam as being part of a big media company in the future?
Well, absolutely. It fits comfortably into any current media company out there. If you look at all of them, they have a whole unit that's dedicated to all things digital. And as a matter of fact, we've met with a lot of the CEOs of or the heads of digital for the respective top media companies in the country right now, and everybody sees how easily Dance Jam integrates with their overall strategy going forward. And it's just the first step. I mean, for me, one of the reasons why I was so excited about building Dance Jam is that from the music industry standpoint, with the music industry going into a transition period, there's a huge opportunity to create new vehicles that give artists and record companies a better way of monetizing their content going forward. And Dance Jam is the first step in what I think there are 3 models out there that combine together that actually create the new music business. And so I'm very excited about it.
Okay, well, we're very excited for you too. Congratulations on the launch. Congratulations going forward. And I didn't ask you to dance, but we'll be watching some of your dance moves on Dance Jam.
We'll be watching yours.
Well, yeah, don't hold your breath, or I may surprise you. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing the Dance Jam story.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Geoffrey Arone and Hammer, and we've been talking about Dance Jam. I'm Bambi Francisco.